Patrick Mooney from Northside Territory and The Athletic said they're demoting Matt Shaw. They're calling up relievers Luke Little and Daniel Palencia. Also, Vidal Brujan has been activated. Nate Pearson was also optioned, and Eli Morgan, who had been struggling, is put on the injured list. Let's start with the headliner here. Matt Shaw, rookie, debut, out in Tokyo. This is the guy to answer the bell at third base for a team that made an offer for Alex Bregman but came up short. Kip, they gave him 16 games he wasn't hitting. His defense actually was pretty good, and it was better than most people thought it would be from the jump. What do you think of this decision?
This is his first time up, right? This was his first chance in the big leagues. Listen, there's a lot of guys. I don't think people realize the jump that it is from AAA to the big leagues. It's almost a different game in the sense of the speed, the skill, everything that goes into it, and just everything. Listen, this guy's going to be a good player. Sometimes it just takes some time. You look at some of the best in the game. People forget Mike Trout was sent down, I believe. Jose Ramirez was sent back down. Sometimes it just takes that little – it doesn't work out the first time, and they go back, refine their approach, or fix some loop that they got and realize that they're able to take that breath now and reassess and come back, and then they kind of start to fill it out. But it just doesn't happen for everybody right away. So he's still a good player. The defense is there. The bat's coming. The defense is still – it's a ground ball, whether it's in AAA or the big leagues. You're going to be fine with that if you got a good glove. It's the hitting part that takes almost more time to get used to. I think AJ will agree with me on that.
Oh, 100%. But here's my thing is I said it. He's got such a funky swing and so much movement and so weird. I said this after the Japan series. I was like, well, is this guy going to be able to hit? And we've asked our Cubs guys. And they're like, oh, he's always hit in AAA. He's hitting A-ball. He's hitting college. There's a jump, like Kip said. And I don't know if there's ever been a bigger jump than ever from AAA to the big leagues with velocity stuff, all that stuff. Because everyone has good stuff now. They're in the big leagues. They're not in AAA. There used to be a lot of dudes in AAA that were like 6-year free agents, the 30 to 32-year-old guy that was hanging around, but he was making 25, 30 grand a month, which was a good salary back in the day for AAA. And they were hoping to get a month here, a month there, but they were still really good. And they would flip 2-0 breaking balls in. But now the guys in the big leagues are all like 95, 100, 100, where I don't know. I haven't been in AAA, but I've heard there's just a difference in the play, right? So that's the question is how do they get him to be able to hit? Because he has to be able to hit. Defense is great, but the Cubs need him to hit because he was brought on this team to be their third baseman and to hit, not to play third.
Should he work on his growing pains in the big leagues?
No.
Some fans were
not on a
time.
team that's competing.
Okay.
Not on a team that's competing. If you're on the White Sox, let them figure it out, right? Make adjustments there. But when you're on the Cubs, they're trying to win, and they're expected to win this division. You can't allow – listen, Matt Shaw got off the bat. We've all been there. I mean, Kip, I don't know. I got sent down numerous times. I don't know about you, but I got sent down. I mean, there's a million guys I know that got sent down. So it's not like he got sent down. Alex Gordon is a perfect example. I mean, you can name a bunch of guys that all got sent down. You get up there, you're like, oh, wow, this is a lot harder than I thought. I got to go make adjustments. And you come up, you try again. If it doesn't work, go back and go up and down a couple times.
Mm-hmm. He was 172 average, 294 on base, 241 slug. That's a 535 OPS. I always try to tell people also just check out a StatCast page because it's a good idea of metrics. Yeah, everything on batting is blue except for walk percentage is pretty high up at 14.7%. So at least he's taken a few walks. Good. But everything else is really blue, including even average exit velocity, which is obviously looked at pretty importantly. 82.7 mile an hour average exit velocity is 2 percentile. Hard hit percentage, 4th percentile. So stuff like that is what they're looking at. Even for me, fielding, I think when I've watched him, I'm like, oh, okay, making most of the plays. His range right now, outs above average, is -2. That's 4th percentile. So some people might call that out because I mentioned it earlier. They've even said the defense has been better than they thought, but technically, metrics-wise, it's not like
so he's not covering a lot of ground.
Yeah, he's not covering a lot of ground, and it's not like they're looking at him going, "Wow, this is a plus for us." At least he's been a star on D. It's more like, "Oh, he's better than we thought."
He hasn't screwed it up.
Right? He hasn't.
Yeah, but when you came up, I was like, "Man, I just don't want to screw up on defense. I'll figure out hitting, but just don't screw it up." Right? You were like, "All right, let me just catch the grounders to me and
that
make
was my
the
whole
routine."
career.
Yeah, right. Me too. I was like, let me just catch the ball, and when someone steals, throw it, and don't throw it into center field, and try to catch the pop-ups, and just hide back there, and then I can hit though. I'll figure out hitting side of it.
That was my motto my entire career on defense. Don't be the weak link. Just make the plays that you can. Don't try to do anything too special.
Hair thinning is very common, very frustrating problem that many men deal with. From stress and nutrition to hormones to lifestyle, so many internal factors affect what you see on the outside. Luckily, Nutrafol is here to help.
Thinning hair is different for men and women, so a one-size-fits-all approach to their hair growth doesn't cut it. Nutrafol has multiple formulas for men and women that are tailored to different life stages and lifestyle factors.
Nutrafol is the #1 dermatologist-recommended hair growth supplement brand trusted by over 1.5 million people. See thicker, stronger, faster-growing hair with less shedding in just 3 to 6 months with Nutrafol.
Start your hair growth journey with Nutrafol. For a limited time, Nutrafol is offering our listeners $10 off your first month subscription and free shipping when you go to Nutrafol.com and enter the promo code FOUL. Find out why over 4,500 healthcare professionals and stylists recommend Nutrafol for healthier hair. Nutrafol.com, spelled Nutrafol.com, promo code FOUL.
That should be your baseline as any big leaguer, by the way, is making every routine play. That should be the bare minimum to be a big league defender.
The difference is now that the defensive metrics will still punish you if that's your
see,
thought
that's
process.
why some, I don't
that's
know.
where it gets a little
There's
too
things
crazy.
that I mean, listen, I know there's people out there that are way smarter than me, but there's metrics. I don't know who counts these metrics, because I can look at a guy and be like, that guy's pretty good, and then his metrics are pretty good. And then there's guys I'm like, that guy's pretty good, but his metrics aren't that good. And you're like, but he gets hits and he makes all the routine plays. And you count, like, if I was a big league manager and I had 9 guys that I knew I could count on, the balls hit them, they're going to catch it, make an out, I'll take my chances more times than not, because we're going to make every routine play. Now, every once in a while, you might make a great play, but if I got 9 guys that I know are going to make every route, if there's a 3-hopper hit to Jason Kipnis, he's going to field it, he's going to flip it to first, and we're going to get an out. My pitcher's got to have confidence. I'm sorry.
I think it's why there's some sloppier play sometimes now too, Kip, because errors used to be like basically the holy grail. Like, oh, how many errors does this infielder have, right? Like the second baseman, this shortstop, this third baseman. I mean, most front offices, they look at that, but they're mostly looking at the defensive metrics that are a deeper dive in their mind. And it's like, but wait, does he make the plays he's supposed to make? Because if he's screwing up a lot, those are the ones that really burn in games.
I'm going to circle back to the conversation we already just had about the Oakland guys. I think it's become such an offensive-minded game that you're putting players out there who aren't necessarily defenders, who aren't necessarily defensive-minded players or aren't complete players, that their bats are so good you just find a position for them. So there's going to be players out there on defense who you're going to have to be okay that their metrics just aren't up to par or up to exactly what you want them to be because you're getting the bat out of them. And I'm wondering, that kind of also tails off into this conversation with scouting. Does scouting, how much do they use the sabermetrics or something when they're scouting? Or are they still guys just in the seats using the eye test and going off of that before they send them the report on up to the sabermetrics guys to look at then?
The thing is guys that have more range usually make more errors. Mm-hmm. It's like, I'll use Paul Konerko because you get to more balls and you try more crazy stuff. Like I'll use Paul Konerko. Paul Konerko, if you hit it within his 2-foot radius where he can move, you were out.
You're out.
Right? But his range factor was 0. If you threw it to him and he had to pick it, he'd pick it most 95% of the time. But if you hit it outside that 2-foot radius, it was probably going to get by him. But if you hit it where he could catch it, you were out. Right? I mean, but then you have a guy, I'm trying to think of somebody that's super flashy guy. Like David Eckstein, right? His range wasn't huge, but you hit it in his area, you were out. Right? And then there's some other shortstops that are way more flashy and can do a lot more things. They'll miss the one right to him, but the one 10 feet. Yeah, there you go. Okay. You want to use your guy.
Ellie's probably a good example of that. I mean, man, he'll make some ridiculous plays.
But then the 2-hopper right to him, he clanks or throws it away.
Yeah, and he's getting better at that too.
No, I know. But
I mean, he's a bit above average right now on his range to start the season. He's got a sick arm too that can make up for some of that stuff. So, but I know what you're saying. Now, what would a fan rather watch? Depends.
Depends on how many errors.
Yeah, depends on the threshold.
But again, Matt Shaw's not there for his defense. Yeah. Hey, everybody. Be sure to like and subscribe for more content.
We're back here every weekday, all year long, so do not miss an episode.
The videos are coming in all day. Here's another video you might enjoy.
Baseball the way it should be covered.